just saw my audience. Today I'm going to be discussing the actions on child abuse. 90% of the time, a child is either molested, raped, or touched by a parent or somebody in the family or a stranger. And it's very statistical because 40% of the time a child is being watched by somebody, either if they're walking to school or coming home from school or whatever the case may be. So I say that, parents should take a lot of safety and precaution measures to avoid this from happening. It happens on a day-to-day basis. It's on the news all the time. And a lot of times, the molester or the rapist, sometimes, that happened to them in their family. And then it's like something that they carry on throughout their life. And sometimes they have a child and they end up touching the child. So the statistics and the reports are very high. And it is a very hard subject to talk about because in people's childhood sometimes, they grow up and, they can't get away from that skeleton because they end up, carrying that on in their lifetime. A lot of kids too, I find and I know that they get molested by their own teachers. They teach them, and sometimes it's crazy because teachers, they have this affatuation, with their students. You've had, stories been told about teachers, having sexual intercourse with their students. That's still another form of child abuse. And the majority of the time, it comes from low self-esteem, a person feeling like, it's like a demon, they feel like, okay, I get an arousement out of this, by fondling a child. They have a mind frame sometimes of a child growing up, the maturity state of growing up, they still might feel like child tendencies, in their mind. And child abuse, is very high, breaking in the news a lot. You find even from a baby, an infant, it happens. And it's a lot in the home, the upbringing of a person, teaching their kids. And you think, and it's sad because the child, they expect the security from the parent. And, they think it's okay, and they end up keeping it as a secret. But, just to conclude that, just know that a child, I feel like they shouldn't be abused, just because of what you've been through, whether if it was a parent, a teacher, or whatever the case may be. And the statistics, 20% of the time, it is, a teacher, or 90% of the time, it is a parent. So just, take precaution measures for parents that may not be that way. Just, installing in your kids, security, installing your kids, precaution measures that this type of, influence on them, on their mind or their body is not okay. So thank you for listening, and have a good day.